The site here is 350 acres. The bones of it probably date now from the 18th century. The sandy ground of Norfolk is quite ideally suited to golf turf. It can produce nice, wispy, thin roughs, which is much easier to find your golf ball in, and finer turf. My name's Peter Todd. I'm the estates manager and I'm also a board director at Royal Norwich. I joined the club as an employee in 2017, primarily to project manage the new development of the two courses, the 18-hole and the 6-hole. Prior to my employment, I did a lot of advisory work with the club on getting the specification together with the architect. Yeah, I've worked with Bernhard's for over 25 years and nearly 30. The course I worked at previously had their equipment in our workshop. They continued to offer not only product support, but a lot of technical training and tournament support when we were hosting professional events. We recognised the value of that and built up a long relationship, including hosting other golf course managers and superintendents from around the world. To operate at a high level at a premium venue, you need an in-house technician. You really can't operate at this level without having on-site sharpening equipment. The benefit to us is firstly being able to constantly monitor mowers, check the quality of cut and address any imperfections and make lots of small adjustments rather than large adjustments occasionally. Because to keep things constantly at their peak, you only want to be making small improvements. Coupled with that, when you do get imperfections, you want to be able to react to them quickly. And so having an in-house facility, we can have a cutting unit off, deal with the imperfection, spin grind it, whatever it needs doing, and then back in action and being used in less than an hour. Turf quality is at the forefront of being at this premium end of the golf market, and having sharp blades is the only way to deliver a clean mowing cut. And the clean mowing cut leads to not just presentation differences that golfers see, television cameras, whoever, but it's also about having turf that will withstand more stress, because the cleaner the cut, it'll put up with more stress when we've got no rain and it's droughted, it's more disease resistant. Those aspects of the clean cut are much broader than just aesthetics. Cost savings for us are really related to water saving for not tearing turf but cutting it cleanly, lowering your incidence of disease because you're cutting cleanly, which means less fungicides. And those things have knock-on effects, because if you apply less water, you use less power. If you apply less fungicide, you're not using labour and machine time to apply it with a sprayer. It's sometimes difficult to quantify them precisely, but if you weren't to have sharp cylinders, I think you'd see the downside of it. When we came up with the initial plans for the site, we realised there was no suitable building to house the greenkeeping facility. So we started off with a blank sheet of paper, and finding a location was the first thing, and having a central location to reduce the travel time for the mowers going from hole to hole, getting out in the mornings, etc. As for the design of the facility itself, I was lucky to be involved in an early stage so we could make it functional. And I specifically sat down with Steve Nixon from Bernhard's at the Golf Industry Show, actually, in the States, where we met up. And on a blank sheet of paper, we worked out the layout of the room to get the equipment in. If we wanted to host groups for either demonstrations or training, in line with our partnership, how that would be the best layout. So that's how the building comes to be, housing the sharpening facility, and it is the layout to suit both the partnership of Bernhard's and ourselves, as well as our own in-house technician. I've very much seen Bernhard's as being a long-term partnership with the club, a long-term partner with the Greenkeeping Association and supporting education in the Greenkeeping Association. And for that reason, that has a value, that relationship to us and to my colleagues in other golf clubs throughout the country and the world. So I can see that Bernhard's have a long future and are always innovating. We long will enjoy having a relationship with them.